Hello, hi there. Welcome to this live. Is my audio video fine? Caitlin says, hi, love. Hello, Caitlin. It's so nice to see you here again. Yeah, I missed, doing these live sessions. Ruchi says, oh, hi, Ruchi. I'm so happy that you are coming back again. Thank you so much for coming back. And thank you for the confirmation. Hello, Sheila. Hi, welcome. I think, are you joining for the first time, Sheila? Okay, wonderful. Yeah, I'm happy that this was going on in your screen and you decided to tap in, you decided to tune in. And I really wish that you receive the guidance that would bring some ease and happiness into your life from today's session. Deb says, hi Anisha and everyone here for the first time. Hello, Deb. Wow, so many newcomers today. Yeah, I'm happy that you decided to tune in as well, Deb. And I hope that you receive whatever you need at this moment from this session. So thank you for coming. Thank you for joining all of us. Caitlin says, yay, newcomers, how fun. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy to have this new energy as well as, some of the people who are coming back again. I'm always so grateful for your presence, guys. So, let me introduce myself just a little bit for anyone who is joining us for the first time. So, my name is Anisha Maheshwari, and I have been on Insight Timer as a teacher for more than 2.5 years now. And I have, like 7 courses on Insight Timer and 30 plus tracks here. So, my content mostly revolves around like mindfulness, dealing with negative thoughts, or emotion regulation techniques. So these are the content that I have made so far. And some, random meditation based on visualization and stuff like that. So you can always, check that out if you're interested. About this wheel of wisdom, about this live. So let me tell you a little bit about how this goes. So so usually we start this live with a meditation to open ourselves to settle in. Today we would not be doing the meditation because I'm not feeling like physically well today. I actually had to cancel our previous session, our previous live event because of that. And yeah, but I didn't want it to just cancel 2 events in a row. So I wanted to just be here with you guys and yeah, have the space and yeah, just do something for even if it is not for a longer time. So maybe today's session is going to be a little bit shorter, like, 45 minutes or so. So for that, we are going to skip the meditation. Otherwise, we usually start with a meditation. Then what we do is that we have a wheel with that's why the name Wheel of Wisdom. So what we do is that we spin that wheel. On that wheel, there are names of some randomly chosen books. So like 31 to be precise right now on that wheel. So once we have opened ourselves, once we have, tuned into that higher frequency after the meditation, which is usually done. But instead of the meditation, we are going to just do quick 3 deep breaths so that we can settle ourselves. Same effect, just a little bit quicker. Um, Caitlin says, oh, can't explain how much I appreciate you spending your time with us. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Yeah, that's so nice to hear. I really missed you guys actually, on that day I had to cancel. I really missed you and I just wanted to be here, even if it is for just a little while. So thank you, thank you. Okay, coming back to the format of this live. So yeah, so once we have tuned into that higher frequency, we spin the wheel with, being aligned with that higher wisdom. And that wheel chooses a book for us to read from, to receive some wisdom from today. So then, I either tune into my intuition or I tune into your intuition. So I invite you guys to tune into your intuition and, we choose, we either choose a number or I keep on, with my eyes closed, I scroll through the notes from that book, which I made as I was reading the book, and I find something insightful or transformative, then I, put it in my notes. So I open those, I close my eyes, tune into my intuition, and choose a paragraph from, when I'm scrolling, I just choose a paragraph. I stop at some point, which I feel like this is something that everyone else needs to hear right now, that all of us would benefit from hearing. So yeah, we read that, or I ask you guys to choose a number, and then we go from there to receive that wisdom or guidance in relation to whatever is going on in your life. So that is the format of this live. So, are you guys ready to spin? Type spin in the comments if you are. I would love to have some, enthusiasm from you guys as well. Yay, Caitlin says, woohoo, spin. Wonderful. Okay, so I will show you the wheel. Mm, okay, so guys, this is the wheel of wisdom. Sheila says spin and love, love, love. Thank you so much, Sheila, for all the love. Okay, so we're going to spin this particular wheel and see, what book wants to speak to us today. Wow. I think this was yeah, this book came in, I think, one of the recent lives, and it is an amazing book. People loved, what came through from that book last time, and I'm hoping that this happens in this live as well. As I can see, as I can relate by seeing the hearts, the love flowing when you all read the name of this book. So, the book that came up for us today is Living Beautifully with Uncertainty and Change by Pema Chodron. So, let's see what this book has to offer, all of us today. Bella says, Hola everyone, I am late. No. Bella says, Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, you are not. You are just on time. We just started this live, 7 minutes ago. And we skipped today's meditation because of my health, but we are doing the spin part. So, yeah, we just chose our first book for today. So, let me open the book. Until then, you guys can think about what is it that you would like to receive some guidance on, Um, in which area of your life would you like to receive some guidance on, or, clarity or direction, or are you going through something? So maybe think of that, and what. So just make that clear in your mind as it's what it is exactly that you would like to receive some, you know, wisdom for, from the universe, from God, from higher self, from consciousness, whatever it is. Bella says, glad you're doing better. Yeah, thank you, Bella. Yeah, I am just a little bit better. Thank you so much for your wishes and understanding. Ruchi says, love and relationships. I hope that, whatever comes through from this book helps you in this particular area of your life. Either it is in the form of reassurance or some guidance or something else, some form of support that comes through. Um, so you guys can think about it. What is it that you would like to receive some guidance on? I like this is the, cover of that book. So I would invite you guys actually. So we are going to tune into your intuition today. Caitlin says, I'm open to whatever message comes through. Thank you, Caitlin, for sharing that in the comments. So, guys, if you don't have anything specific in your mind, you can just always be open to receive, whatever wants to come through, whatever guidance, your higher self or that loving presence wants to send your way. Deb says love and healing. A lot about love today. hmm And I'm sending, I hope that you guys feel loved in whether it is in terms of relationship, in terms of, with the relation, whether it is a relationship with others or yourself or in other area of your life, whatever it is. I hope that you feel loved and valued in some way today. In the next 24 hours, you receive that love in some or other form today. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you all to do is that I'm going to ask you to choose a number um uh, in just a moment, and just close your eyes and see what number comes through, and whatever number, and we are going to go with top three numbers. So whatever number comes through, um it doesn't mean that that particular reading or that particular message or wisdom is just for you. It means that this, as I always say, this is a space for, being receptive, for being open to receive that wisdom or that information that wants to come through. And yeah, and it can come through from any source. It can be me, it can be the book, it can be other comments in the, comment box. So it can be anything. So we are just being open to receive that wisdom from any source. So yeah, so I see some enthusiastic people already who have chosen the number. Okay, Ruchi says 44, please. I think you chose that particular number in the previous live as well, Ruchi. Am I right? As far as I remember, I think so. Deb says 6, Bella says 22, Sheila says 88, Michelle says 31. Okay, so what we are going to do is that now that you have tuned into your intuition, I'm going to tune into mine. And I'm going to choose, any number randomly from all the numbers that you have chosen, whatever, I feel called to. And we're going to open that particular page. Ruchi says, yeah, 44 seems to keep coming to me for some reason. Yeah, that is beautiful. Maybe there is some message. And on that note, I would also like to, because like seeing fours, a lot of fours is also a sign. So let me, read the meaning of that number for you. I like, from numerology, that what does this 44 means, 444 or whatever number wants to come through. So I'm just going to take a moment to just, read that message for you before we move on. So seeing fours, you know, in like triplets or quadruples or whatever it is, means protection. And here it says that if you catch the sight of 444 now and then the angel wants to convey that they are protecting you. They are with you with their light and protection, and you are safe. So you are safe, and maybe you can remind yourself now and then that you are safe, that I am safe. And it's not just, safe like in terms of external world, but yeah, our body is normally not in that state of feeling safe and connected, having that being in that relaxation mode. Instead, in the modern world, most of the times our body is in the stress mode, filling our body with cortisol and all of those stress responses and all those hormones, so that we are ready to tackle anything that comes our way. So yeah, it's nice to always pause, once or twice in a day and to remind yourself that I am safe in this moment. Just reminding your body. Ruchi says, oh wow, thank you. Let's see. Bella says we are ready this morning. But you are, you are. You all are. I can see the enthusiasm and I love that. Yeah, thank you for bringing in that energy into the space. I really appreciate it. Bella says, oh wow, and I picked 22 and 4. Yeah, a nice alignment. Bella says, yeah, always. Um, I always pray for protection for me and my animals. That's so beautiful. Yeah, it is, that you include the animals in that as well in your wishes and your prayer. Okay, guys, so let me choose a number amongst all of that, and then we will see what wants to come through. Okay, number 6 is calling me. Okay, let's see what is on page number 6. Although I'm not sure, there might be something because it is the initial page. Okay. Yeah, as I suspected, it is like the initial page of that book, so there's nothing written on that. That's why, I usually give the numbers to choose between, but that's okay, if you are so excited. So maybe I think Deb chose that number. Deb, would you like to choose another number in, between 12 to 90? Between 12 to 90. Choose a number. Okay, okay, you have chosen 17. Okay. Yeah, so let's go with the replacement now. So the author says, if we can get in touch with the sensation as sensation and open ourselves to it without labeling it good or bad, then even when we feel the urge to draw back, we can stay present and move forward into the feeling. In My Stroke of Insight, the brain scientist Jill Bolte Taylor's book about her recovery from a massive stroke, she explains the physiological mechanism behind emotion. An emotion like anger, that's an automatic response. So, the physiological reaction is kind of an automatic response. So, that automatic response lasts just 90 seconds from the moment it's triggered until it runs its course. 1.5 minute. That's all. When it lasts any longer, which it usually does, it's because we have chosen to rekindle it. The fact of the shifting, changing nature of our emotions is something we could take advantage of. But do we? No, instead, when an emotion comes up, we fuel it with our thoughts, and what should last 1.5 minute may be drawn out for 10 or 20 years. We just keep recycling the storyline. We keep strengthening our old habits. So here what is being said is that whenever something happens, we feel a certain emotion, right? We feel triggered, and whatever that triggered within us, it can be an emotion like anger or anxiety or sadness or whatever it is. So When an emotion is triggered by, you know, an event, and more precisely by our perception of the event. So when that emotion is triggered, that physiological reaction. So for example, if I feel angry, I start, we start to breathe faster, and we start to breathe deeply and deeply and faster, or we feel red around our face, or energy is flushing through our extremes. So that is the physiological reaction that happens when we feel angry, when we feel an emotion that is getting triggered. So that physiological reaction or that emotion only lasts for 1.5 minutes. So that original cycle was only of 90 seconds. After that, if we hadn't interfered, that emotion, that wave of emotion would already, would leave, would that physiological reaction, the cycle of it would get completed. So you were supposed to get angry for only 90 seconds. But this this might not be your experience, right? This is not the experience of most of us. We feel angry for a lot longer. And the reason behind it is, as the author says, that when when we feed that emotion, so that emotion is like a fire. So when we feed that emotion with our thoughts, so it is like, dropping more wood into that, whatever the fire was going on, we're dropping. So with each thought, you are dropping more and more wood. So that fire would keep on getting, would keep on going and going and going. So it would keep on getting alive. It would be alive when we keep on feeding it again and again and again with some or other kind of thoughts. So if something happens, and you had a natural automatic reaction, and that is not in your control, whatever physiological reaction would be triggered is not in your control. So again, you don't need to judge yourself for what kind of reaction do you have, that why was I not calm in that. So that first initial reaction was not in your control, but what followed, is you investing in the storyline, that why does this person always does this to me, why don't he ever understand what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, why is he so insensitive, or whatever is the storyline. So we keep on thinking like this, and each thought is feeding that fire and keeping it alive and alive. And that's why that emotion that was supposed to last for 90 seconds keep get elongated, and it turns into our long lasting mood that can goes for like days and days and days. Okay, I have some comments, but first I would read them. Bella says, like I was yesterday, it's like I kept thinking about it when you should have let it go. Exactly. And again, so there is another trap here. If you think of like, I should have let it go. So now, when we place a should, we are placing an expectation, a rule upon ourselves. And when we are not able to follow that, then judgment gets attached to that. So now, maybe if you got that information, then next time, it is very likely that you're going to think, and you're going to think for a longer period. Um, no matter how aware you are, no matter how mindful you are, um, there would be certain initial thoughts after that reaction, because it has been such a long, like years and years of pattern. So it is not going to go away with just simple understanding. Of course, this understanding is the first step, but if you expect yourself from next time that I am not going to feed that story, I'm not going to feed that fire, I'm not going to think about it and let it go, and you place like a rule upon yourself that I should, let that go, I should not think about it so much longer, then your mind is tricking you to get into another story. And now the story is of judgment, and the emotion that it triggers might be of feeling disappointed in yourself. So we also need to be mindful to not attach any judgment when we do indulge in our, old patterns. So we need to be, compassionate with ourselves when we are trying to unlearn a particular pattern that we have been going through. So I wanted to add that. at this point. And Bella, thank you so much for sharing that, that I kept thinking about it when you should have let it go. So, yeah, I got an opportunity to share something, in addition to that. Bella says, yes, yes, that's all the emotions I had yesterday afternoon. Uh-huh. So now that you're aware, right? Awareness is the first step. And not only you're aware of that pattern, so awareness, when we say awareness is the first step, it is first being aware of your pattern, and then secondly, being aware of, like being aware in the moment when you're indulging in that pattern. So there is like these two levels. So, the first level of awareness is easy if you like really sit and explore it with someone, maybe a coach, a therapist, or whatever it is. You're able to unfold your patterns. But the second level of awareness, which is very important, is you being aware of your thoughts or of whatever is going on of your inner world while it is happening, while all of that is happening. So that is the second step, and that second step is going to take a lot of practice. So not time, but if you practice it more, then you will be able to get skilled at catching yourself into indulging in that story and keeping that emotion alive for a lot longer than it was supposed to. Okay, let's see some comments. Deb says, I definitely needed this lesson. Thank you so much. I'm glad, Deb, that you got what you needed from today. It just always makes me so happy when people get what they need. So thank you for sharing that. Mm. Okay, let me read some more comments. Prasanna says, Anisha, how calm you resonate. Such a calm energy and appear to be in complete control over yourself. Thank you for, reflecting back, for sharing that observation of yours, of sharing your experience of this space, Prasanna. I'm glad that you're able to, connect with that calmness. And I'm happy that, that is your experience. And I don't know how I appear to be in control of it. Today, right now, to be honest, I am on very low energy. So, yeah, so like physically, I'm not that well. So, yeah, I am on a very low energy right now. That's why, like, I was just drinking the, electrolytes so that I can keep going. But, yeah, but I'm glad that, that is your experience. And on other times, how I'm able to be calm is to not try to control myself, actually. So, the opposite of what you mentioned. So, not trying to control myself, but instead being with whatever is happening inside of me, just being with that sensation, which reminds me of that initial line that we read. Um, let's see. Hello, Faz. Welcome, welcome to this live. I'm happy to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, you guys know each other, it seems like. Bella says hi. Paz says, I've heard electrolytes being a game changer. Bella says, yes, the Pedisure electrolyte are very good to help get better. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, they just, give me that energy right now because I'm pretty depleted physically. So I'm happy that, yeah, you guys are suggesting me and, yeah, sharing your experience and caring about me. That's so nice of you guys. Um, Coming to that, yeah. So, I mentioned being with the sensations. So here, in the initial lines, the author mentioned that if we can get in touch with a sensation as sensation and open ourselves to it without labeling it as good or bad, even if we have that urge to draw back. So, like when we have an unpleasant sensation, it's natural that we want to avoid it. We want to like just take a step back. We don't want to feel it, right? Because it is unpleasant. Um, but the author says that without labeling it as good or bad, without just because sometimes we just put a label on it and we are like, okay, done with it. So I'm feeling the pain and then we are done with it. But if we actually, turn inwards and just, turn our awareness inwards to that part of the body where we are feeling that sensation, and we just be with it and actually experience the rawness, the raw sensation instead of the label. So, keeping the label aside, just feeling that sensation. How does it feels like? Like right now, I'm feeling like a pointedness in my stomach because it is paining. So, just feeling, and is it like at one point? Is it like spreading? So, getting in touch with the rawness of the sensation and dropping any labels, then we can always, then we can be in connection to not only that sensation but ourselves. We can become aware that that sensation is not permanent, that that sensation is not solid, it is actually changing. Whereas if we had just labeled it as pain, I would have like, I would have been like, I have a pain in my stomach and that's it. But when I really tune in, I would feel that, that sensation is moving. It is not static. There is this energy that is moving, and that just, help us experience the impermanence that is taught in, Buddhism, or I think in other traditions also, that nature of impermanence, and also get in touch with our own nature of awareness, of spaciousness, that we can hold this sensation no matter how unpleasant it feels, but we have the space, we have that capacity to hold everything within us. We are so much more, we are so much vast, we are endless, we are we are so much more than we imagine, while we create that separate self or this physical boundary. So that can be our experience as well. Actually, I have like created a meditation on that mindfulness of pain, and it is strange, it has like, so that mindfulness of pain. We did a meditation in one of these lives, Wheel of Wisdom lives as well. So in that live only, and that has come again and again in like three more lives, and that is strange. And I feel like, maybe some of you might are supposed to experience that in some way. So if you guys are interested, you can let me know, and I will share the number of that live, because this is getting recorded. These lives are getting recorded. So I have like recorded all the previous lives, and this is the 42nd live. We started this year only. And yeah, we are on our 42nd live of Wheel of Wisdom. So I can check and let you know that in which particular live that meditation is, mindfulness of pain. If you are interested, you can like let me know in my group. So I have a group on Insight Timer, a little community known as Wonderful Beings. So you can like join it and text me, and I will search for it and let you know in which particular live that meditation is, and you can access that recording. Bella says, I would always tell everyone to take the kids pedicure. Once so many people got a hole, then the government found out and created an adult version, which I feel doesn't work as well as the kids' electrolyte drink. Yeah, there is always, there is always like, this reminds me of, I don't know how like consumerism work, like, um, like how the same products that men use are so different and so expensive for women. And similarly, like, how the kids' products are effective, but they ended up creating like an adult version and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know, like the brand of it. I don't know, I don't remember the name, the brand of which like I have brought the electrolyte. I have bought the electrolyte. I just went to the chemist and yeah, asked for one. So coming back to the readings. So that was our first reading for today. And let's see what number we would like to choose next. So if anyone has joined us just right now, you can, you can choose a number between 12 to 90. And yeah, and I'm just choosing a number randomly from, whatever I feel called to, whatever number is calling me. I just choose that number from your comments. So some people have mentioned few numbers before, and if you're joining for the first time, you can mention it here as well. Jocelyn says, "Good morning, Anisha. Good morning, and welcome back. I'm so happy to see you here." So, Jocelyn has chosen 29 for us. Deb says, "Thank you, Anisha." Thank you, Deb. I'm glad that something resonated with you. Okay, so let's see. Hmm. Okay, 88 is calling me now. Let's try 88. Let's see what is on page number 88. Bella says, "Oh, I said 89 earlier. Wow." I'm glad that, there is this alignment and magic happening here. Okay, so the author says, we tend to project so much onto the outer situation. I don't know how to pronounce it. Just a second. Dijigar Kongtrul's instruction, so he's a person. So his instruction is to cut through our habitual reactions and feel the emotions directly. Directly means without commentary, without interpretation, without having a conversation in your head about what's happening. It means not regarding the emotion as adversaries, but joining with them, embracing them, becoming intimate with them. If thoughts arise, the instruction is to interrupt their momentum by letting them go, then to touch in again with the rawness of the energy. Experiencing the rawness of emotions directly is like accidentally putting your hand on a hot burner and feeling the pain as pure sensation without embellishment. When you touch a hot stove, as soon as you become aware of the pain, you immediately put your hands away. You don't let it rest on the burner in order to explore the pain. In the same way, in charnel ground practice, we stay present with strong emotion only very briefly at first. The instruction is short moments again and again. Okay, so it seems like we got like a further instruction in addition to, what we explored earlier. So we already discovered that, we need to get directly in touch with the rawness of that energy. So, when we are feeling that emotion, there are certain physical sensations that you feel. So, if you're feeling anxious, you might feel like, your heart beating and stuff like that. So there might be certain sensation Or if I just ask you in this moment, what are you guys feeling right now? What emotion are you feeling in this moment? Trying to name that emotion. And once you notice that this is the emotion I'm feeling, now notice where in my body I am feeling that emotion. In which part of of my body does that emotion resides in? And once you become aware of where in your body you feel that emotion, you might be feeling certain sensation associated with that emotion. So now the instruction is to be with that sensation, to be with that sensation in that part of your body just for a little while, just touching it with your awareness and then, stepping aside. Because if it is an overwhelming emotion or a very unpleasant emotion, you might not want to stay with it. You might not want to continue being in touch with the sensation. So, as we just, as the author, compared it with touching hot stove. So similarly, we are just touching this sensation within us with our awareness. So becoming aware of it, feeling it just for a little bit, and then stepping aside, maybe becoming aware of something else or your whole body. So it's just, just touching a little bit, just, just like maybe in winters, when you are like when you want to take a bath and you are like you just touch the water a little bit, just a little bit, just pouring your hand just a little bit in that water so that you become habituated to that, right? So that it doesn't feel super different or super cold for you, and you are able to slowly and gradually habituate. And similarly, so that's the instruction of being in touch with your emotion, just noticing where in your body do you feel that emotion, and then just bringing your awareness to that part and just being with it. Notice how does being with it feels like, being with that sensation, and then stepping aside. So that's how you can just, maybe do 3 rounds of that, just touching that a little bit and coming back, touching that a little bit and coming back. So in this way, you would, slowly develop that tolerance in a way to be with it, to explore it, especially, and this instruction, especially if the emotion is like very overwhelming. If you just touch it and maybe tears just roll down your eyes, if it is too overwhelming for you. So just taking it one step at a time, one touch at a time, and touching it with your awareness, not with your hands, even though you can touch it with your hands as well. So I think that is an addition to what we explored earlier. Um, so let's see. I'm just saying, there is any additional paragraph to it. Yeah, so the author further says, rather than trying to endure prolonged exposure to intense feeling, we touch in for only 2 or 3 seconds and then pause and breathe gently before touching in again. Or we might simply stay with a troubling feeling for 5 or 6 minutes and then go on with our day, more in touch with our emotions and therefore less likely to be dragged around by them. So, so this is like a very gentle practice that you can include, um, as like we usually are like suppress that emotion that is unpleasant, so that our natural tendency is to avoid it, to suppress it, to step away from it, because we don't want to be in touch with it, we don't even want to be aware of that. We want to suppress it in some dark corners of our body or of our mind. And in this way, this is a very gentle way to connect, to build that connection with your emotions, so that um, you are no longer dragged by it. Meaning that sometimes you might have noticed that um, little things tick you off, like, that it was nothing major, but you had a lot of like overreaction to that thing, or you just ended up crying over just a little minor inconvenience. So that happens because a lot of emotions are getting accumulated in our body, and we are not getting in touch with them. We are not processing that energy, because emotions are just energy in motion. So we are not, processing it, we are not expressing it. So this is a very gentle way to become aware of them, just one touch at a time, one touch at a time, slowly developing our capacity to be with that emotion. So initially, you might be able to just be with that emotion for like 5 seconds, maybe. And then that intensity, that duration would increase, and you would be able to be with that emotion for a longer time. And when you will reach that stage, then you can ask, then you can talk with that part of yourself, and do whatever it needs, whatever it needs from you, whether it is some kind words or a warm hug, or maybe it is about taking care of yourself physically. So, whatever it is, you would be able to fulfill that need of that part of you that is feeling that emotion. And then that emotion would naturally go away because it has served its purpose. It has served its purpose, and it no longer needs to draw your attention again and again. And yeah, and in this way, it is not getting stored in your body in any manner. Just a second. So, you might have heard many people say that feel your feelings. So, this was like a practical instructions on how to feel your feelings. And maybe not today, but maybe in the next live, I can like guide a meditation around it. Although I have like, I think, two meditations around feeling your feelings if you're interested in that. Um, they are part of my courses actually, so they are not like a separate meditations. Would you like me to tell you the name of that course and that lesson, so that you can check that out if you're interested in learning, in having the guidance so that you can feel your feelings? So let me know in the comments if you would like to know the name. Okay, Bella says yes. Okay, so I will show you. Just a second. So I have this course, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Mindfulness Meditation. And this course is basically for anyone who wants to, um, who is a beginner at meditation, at mindfulness meditation, and who wants to become more mindful, more aware in their life, in their daily life, especially, applying the mindfulness to your daily life. So, in that, when you scroll down, when you like move to the final lesson, yeah, so it is. The lesson is guided meditation for dealing with difficult emotions. So I have like a whole meditation, and it is a pretty deep meditation. So it is longer meditation to help you connect with your emotions, and to help you process them, to feel them, to, validate them, to do a lot of things that are very healthy for all of us in terms of being with our emotions. And I think I have another course related to that. Just a second. Yeah. And I have this other course also in which I also have a meditation. It is a little bit shorter than the one that I just mentioned. So if you want a shorter one, you can, refer to this. So this is another course of mine. And in this course, so after awareness, acceptance is the first step. So in that, I have like a guided meditation for acceptance. Yeah, so it is day 6. So there is a guided meditation for helping you, cultivate acceptance of those emotions rather than trying to push them away or even trying to cling to them. As we have learned from the book, that neither is a good way to be with that emotion, nor neither trying to push that away, avoid it, nor trying to cling on to it and hold it strongly because they are again an energy and we need to let them move through us. So, Bella says reminders. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the last reading for today. I really hope that those meditations would be of some help and maybe the particular concept that I touched, today in that paragraph that, touching that emotion and moving away. So maybe I would do a meditation on that in my next live if I'm feeling better, then I would do a meditation on that in the next live or maybe after that. Um okay, let's see. Let's choose a number. Okay, I'm feeling called to choose 31. Let's see what wisdom wants to come through from page number 31. Mm, okay, that's a nice um paragraph to end on. Okay. So the author says, um, so this is about like the precepts, in Buddhism culture. So in Buddhism there are these four precepts that sorry, 5 precepts that, I think monk take like commitments in a manner to live by. Um, so let's read, what are those. So the author says, as a practice, you can make a commitment to keep one or more of the precepts for one day a week or twice a month or the duration of a meditation retreat or a lifetime. So you can just set a commitment to follow them either one day, in each week. So whatever duration suits you. So the first 4 precepts are considered the most basic. The fifth, on refraining from drugs and alcohol, is often taken along with the other 4. The wordings of the 5 precepts as set out below is loosely based on a version by the Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. So the first precept is on protecting life. Aware of the suffering brought about by the destruction of life, I vow to not kill any living being. I will do my best to cultivate non aggression and compassion and to learn to protect life. So, that is the first commitment that we are making to ourselves is to not harm any living being. So, whether it is a human being, whether it is an animal, or whether it is plants. So, the first vow is to not kill any living being. Second vow is on respecting what belongs to others. aware of the suffering caused by stealing or taking anything that belongs to others, I vow to not take what is not offered. I will do my best to respect the property of others. So this is about like not stealing. So these are like pretty, basic vows, but if we live by them, then we live a life that is more aligned and more tuned to, to how a higher being would live their life, to include that love and care in everything that we do. So the third vow is on not harming others with our sexual energy. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful or aggressive sexual energy, I vow to be faithful to my current partner and not harm others with my sexual energy. I will do my best to be aware of what harms myself and others, and to nurture true love and respect, free from attachment. I aspire to serve and protect all living beings. The fourth vow is on mindful speech. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech, I vow to cultivate right speech, knowing that words can create happiness or suffering. I will do my best to not lie, to not gossip or slander, to not use harsh or idle speech, and to not say things that bring about division or hatred. I aspire always to speak the truth. So that is like such a big commitment, and if we only commit to this, it would it would change so many of our relationships if we were just to abide with this one vow. And we have one more left. So the fifth vow is on protecting the body and mind. Aware of the suffering caused by alcohol, drugs, and other intoxicants, I vow to not drink liquor or use drugs. I will do my best to live my life in a way that will increase my inner strength and flexibility, as well as my openness to all beings and to life itself. Jocelyn says it would also stop a lot of universal suffering. Yeah, exactly. If we were to live by these vows, if we were to commit these things to ourselves and, not follow it just because they are rules, not follow it because, it is a rule, it is illegal to steal or to kill or to harm someone or to say, to spread out hatred to our words through our words. So if we were to just live, if we were to just commit to it, because it would create a life that is not only beneficial to us, but a lot many other people, then it would make such a difference, because we would be then acting out of heart and not out of some rules or regulations. So again, these are not rules or regulations. Even when like, we take these vows, so it is just like an intention. So we intend. So I intend to not lie. I intend to not say anything that might harm others, to not spread around hatred, to take care of my body, to take care of my mind. So these are my intentions. So whenever you take a decision, you can start the day with these intentions to not kill, to not steal, to not use your, misuse or sexual energy in any way, to not say, to practice right speech, to take care of your body and mind. So you can just, start your day with these intentions, and then whenever there's a time whenever there's a decision moment of whether I want to supposedly eat this thing. So you can bring that intention and see if it aligns with that intention. And I understand it might be hard for you, some of you, to, abandon your old habits or cultivate new ones in relation to, for example, maybe taking care of your body. But maybe setting that, you can at least set that intention so it is in in the back of your mind, and at least commit to follow through on one day of the week. And that can be a good start, or whatever feels comfortable for you, maybe for 12 hours in a week. So just beginning with this, just stepping into this in this kind of a life where we live in alignment with these vows. So yeah, I think let's end on this particular reading, which was, I think, the perfect reading, reminding us of all those simple yet very effective commitments to make to ourselves. So, guys, I would like to remind you a few things and mention some things that you might have missed. Um, so this is getting recorded. This whole live is getting recorded. So if you would like to go back and listen to something, or if you joined late and if you missed certain part of this live, and you would like to replay it, then you can access the replays. You can access the video recordings by going to my profile. So you can go to my profile in the About section. You will see, when you scroll down, you will see a link tree there. So in that, you will see Wheel of Wisdom replay, and you can click on the replay. I have like a whole playlist there of all the 42 lives that I have done up until now. And what I invite you to do is that choose a number between 1 to 42 whenever you feel like you need a guidance and I'm not going live. Then you can choose a number between 1 and 42 and just play that particular video and be open to receive that guidance and that wisdom from that. So that wisdom is always available, and those pieces of information are just a reminder. You already know all that is for you to know. It's just, a process of remembering and coming back. So you can do that. Bella says, good idea. Thank you, Anisha. I'm glad that you liked it. Yeah, because I'm always not live, and it is always nice to practice, to tune into our intuition more, to trust ourselves more, to get in touch with our inner wisdom more. So this can be your chance. And although even though this is getting recorded, it takes 1 hour to get uploaded on my channel. So what I do is that after each live, I post a summary with all the readings in my group, which is Wonderful Beings. So I have like a little community here. Let me mention the name. So you can either like search for it on Insight Timer, or you can go to my profile again and in the home page only when you will scroll down. Sorry. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I just released this track from my second Wheel of Wisdom live. So I'm just releasing all the meditations that I've recorded in these lives, which are, I think, above 55 meditations we have recorded in these lives. So I'm releasing one by one each of them. So today we release the second meditation, which is for you if if you're feeling alone, lonely, disconnected, and if you would like to feel more connected and get in tune with the love of the divine, then you can check out this meditation. I have also mentioned it in my group, so you can just tap onto that and yeah, listen to this meditation. And I would love to hear about your experience, how you found this meditation, how you felt after doing this. Okay, coming back to the group. So, so when you will like scroll all the way down, then you will see my group Wonderful Beings. So you can join that. It is a little tiny community where I post a summary after each live is completed. So you don't miss out on anything. And sometimes I miss, sometimes I also, upload other things that maybe I'm reading a book and I feel like I want to share that. So I upload that in the group. or if another track of my is released, then I update that in the group. So it is to stay updated, to be connected, and yeah, to explore that group. So there is that, hmm, and also, as I said, that I'm going to publish all of these meditations one by one. So if you would like to, get notified when all of these meditations from Wheel of Wisdom is released, then you can, follow me and you can receive the notification about these meditations, as well as, whenever um, I create a new live event. So you can, get notified because I'm doing these on alternate days and I'm hoping to continue doing these. I had to like cut short this particular live. I'm feeling very weak right now. So yeah, so that's why I'm like ending this early, but I'm so happy to be with all of you. I missed you all. I missed this space. And it's so nice to be here, to be with each and every one of you. I love seeing the familiar faces as well as the new ones in the bubbles that are flowing around. Bella says, "Oh, hope you feel better. Please get your rest." Thank you, Bella. Faz says, please take care. Thank you, Faz. Thank you so much. Yeah, um, also, I'm also offering a gift to all the women. So, mhm. So I want to ask you guys, I want to ask all the women that are present here, would you guys be interested in a free 1 hour coaching session with me? Would you like to experience coaching with me? You can say yes or no in the comments. So this is a gift that I'm offering to all the women that are attending my live, or that are, or maybe you know of some other women that you would like to send my way who might be interested in this or who would benefit from this. Okay, Jocelyn is interested, Deb is interested. Yeah. Bella says, I am kind of nervous, but I will do the coaching soon. I don't know why I'm nervous. Yeah, Bella, then we would explore that in the session. We can explore that, what you are nervous about, what you're hesitant about. We can definitely explore that. Rochelle says yes. Okay, beautiful. So, you guys, what you guys can do to let me know to grab onto this gift is you can message me, and the way going to show you the way to message me. So if you're already following me, then the follow button might have converted into donate button. Above it, three dots appear. So you can go to the three dots and go to message teacher option, and you can message me that Anisha, I'm interested in that free coaching session, and we can schedule that session, in in the next week or something like that, perhaps. So as soon as I get better, soon, better, I would start, giving those sessions. So yeah, we can discuss about it, and we can schedule a time that suit both of us, a date that suits, both of us. So you can message me that Anisha, I'm interested. And I would absolutely love to, offer you that. I would love to support you in your journey to and yeah, this is my promise to all of you, that whoever is going to take that session, you are going to leave with at least one powerful insight, because that has been the case with every single woman that I've worked with. And if you are not a woman, then don't feel left out. I have like other offerings. So I only work with women when it is one on one, but I have other offerings on a site timer that you can check out if you would like to, um, if you liked the way I am, or the way I express or create, or yeah, my energy basically. So yeah, if you like that, and if you would like to, take a look at my other offerings, then you can check out my, content on Insight Timer. So I have like 7 courses on Insight Timer. Um, few are related to overcoming your negative thoughts. Few are about identifying your limiting beliefs. Then others are related to mindfulness and how to become more mindful in your life, how to cultivate acceptance, how to, how to cultivate that attitude of non-striving, where we are not always, moving on to the next thing and trying to grab onto that. And yeah, so all of that, all of those mindfulness and attitude related to that, related to mindfulness. So you can always check out those courses. And I also have an additional course, which you can access through the link tree again. So that course is again in the link tree. You can access that. It is again also a free course. It is a 6-day course if you are interested in, knowing the fundamentals, knowing the keys of becoming your best self. So you can check that out. And yeah, and I have like a lot of other tracks. I have a lot of other offerings that you can check out through my profile. So I have like, these playlists. So like self-soothing techniques if you want some help, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you want to be guided, or you can go through the mindfulness challenge, and all of this is free. So yeah, you can check all of these things out. And I hope that you find them useful in some way. So, yeah, that's it for today's session. And if you like this session, if you found something valuable from this session, and if you would like to support me in doing these sessions, in continuing these sessions day after day, then you can do so by, clicking the donate button here. You might see a donate button here. So you can support my work, my journey, and yeah, help me continue these sessions through a donation. Faz says, thank you, Anisha. Thank you, Faz, for tuning in. I am so glad to see so many of the new people here. And I hope that I would see you in the next session day after tomorrow. I would love to have you, and I would definitely am hoping to meet you with a lot more energy. So thank you for tuning in. Uh, Bella says, once again, please take care and get plenty of rest. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to see the doctor after this live. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I really wish that something wonderful happens to you in the next 24 hours that brings a smile on your face. Namaste. Bye, guys. You're welcome, Bella. Bye bye.